Michael Bay's latest film, I'm gonna do this entire review in slow motion. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do the entire review in slow motion. That would just get irritating really fast. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy here today to give you my review of Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, Transformers Age of Extinction takes place after the events of Transformers 3, although it's never really clear how long it has been, and the Autobots are being hunted down and killed by this CIA group and this mercenary robot by the name of Lockdown, who honestly is pretty badass in the film. But the film also follows this one guy by the name of Cade Yeager. Oh, his name is Yeager, we're so clever. And he's this inventor type guy who finds this abandoned truck in the middle of an old movie theater and decides to buy it and strip it for parts in order to make some moolah for his daughter to go off to college. But little does he know that that truck is no ordinary truck, but actually a Transformer. And not just any old Transformer, but the big honcho himself, Optimus Prime. And after this life-changing discovery, the government comes to his house, threatens to kill him and his daughter. Optimus Prime comes out guns a-blazing, and now they're on this journey to figure out why they are being hunted down. Now honestly, I was neither excited nor uninterested in seeing this film. I mean, when I first saw the trailer, the action scenes did look pretty interesting, and they looked like they would be a whole lot of fun. And I'll put it to you like this. If you were a fan of any of the other Transformers films, you will get a kick out of the fourth installment. If you weren't a fan of any of the Transformers films, then you might not like the newest addition to the Transformers franchise. As for me, I honestly think that this is the best Transformers film to date. And I know for a lot of you that's not saying much, but for me, it says a lot. And yeah, this film still has many of the Michael Bay staples that we're used to, like slow-mo action scenes, too many explosions, hot girls, and product placements all over the place, useless characters, and annoying comic relief characters. But I was very surprised at how many of the Michael Bay staples weren't in this movie, such as the use of the military, a lot of annoying comic relief characters. There was only one comic relief character in this entire film, and they got rid of him really fast, which was very surprising to me. And the fact that they actually took this in a more darker direction, I actually really like that. And it also helps that there weren't any annoying parents and John Turturro in the film. That is a plus in my book. Although, come to think of it, wouldn't Mark Wahlberg's character be considered an annoying parent character? I'll let it pass. The action scenes, as we come to expect from this franchise, is still very thrilling and a lot of fun to watch, especially the final 20 minutes of the film. That was just pure awesomeness, and I really enjoyed those final moments. Just seeing the Dinobots just swoop in and just crunch on their enemies, that was really thrilling to watch. The characters this time around, especially the important characters, were actually pretty good in the film. And in fact, I give this film props for two things dealing with the characters. First off, I love what they did with the Autobots in this film, giving each one of them their own unique personality. In the other films, the Autobots were very interchangeable. They never really stood out with having any unique qualities to them or any interesting characteristics. While as in this film, each one of the 5 Autobots have their own unique personalities to them. And the second thing that I give this film credit to dealing with the characters is actually the character of Cade Yeager. He is without a doubt the best human character in this entire franchise. I mean, he was likable, he was relatable, he was funny at times, he could handle emotional scenes very well, and Mark Wahlberg did a really good job with his character. He was my favorite character, human-wise, in the film. And then you got Lockdown. This guy, he means business. I mean, this is a formidable opponent. And the fact that he could turn his face into a gun? Automatic badass. And lastly, the Dinobots. Although I was a little irritated that they weren't in the film that much, I do understand why they didn't show them until the final clash at the end. because that was their big finale. And you don't show your big finale throughout the entire film. You build up to it until you reach the big finale, which was the epic throwdown with the Dinobots. And I felt like, in some way, it was worth it. The visual effects, goes without saying, were pretty solid. But one thing that really surprised me in this film was the cinematography. It was really good and aesthetically pleasing. I mean, some of these shots just looked gorgeous and looked well executed. I loved the look of the film. Not only did I really enjoy the look of the film, but the final thing that I really enjoyed about this film was actually its musical score, which I found out was actually partly done by Imagine Dragons. And there's this theme that plays throughout the entire film, and every time I heard it, I was just entranced by it. I really liked it, and I probably will download it once it comes out, because it was a really good theme, and I believe that one was made by Imagine Dragons, which explains it because I really like Imagine Dragons. But as much as I did enjoy a lot of aspects in this film, there were a couple of things that I didn't like. Like I mentioned earlier, this film does have a lot of the Michael Bay staples, the good and the bad. Like the love story between Yeager's daughter and this guy who's Irish, although sometimes his accent would disappear. I never felt a bond with them. They both were pretty useless. And instead of having Shia LaBeouf scream, "Optimus!" we just have Yeager's daughter scream, "Dad! Dad!" throughout the entire film. That's the only purpose her character serves. To be a damsel in distress for her dad or for her boyfriend to save. I can't even think of one useful thing she did in this film. And the girl who plays her, Nicola Peltz, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, who was also in a film that we will not speak of again, she has not improved as an actress. Some people say she's good in Bates Motel, never seen the show, don't like the actress, and I still don't think she's any good. She was put in the film because, you guessed it, Michael Bay loves putting hot girls in his films. And although her acting's not good, she does look really good. Stanley Tucci's character was always flip-flop with me. Like, there would be some points where I did like him, but then there would be other points where I was like, okay, you're getting to that John Turturro annoying level. But then there would be other points where, wow, he's really grown as a character. That's pretty interesting. But then there'll be other points where, oh, now you're just yelling like Shia LaBeouf. Just stop yelling. Overall, I guess I'm just indifferent with this character. I don't hate him, but I don't like him either. Although I did find the story pretty interesting and involving, I felt like it was way too overly complex, with way too much going on in the story. I mean, you got that mercenary guy who's hunting down the Autobots and trying to find Optimus Prime for some reason, and then you got Optimus Prime bringing the Autobots together to figure out who's hunting them and why. Then you got this company that's building their own Transformers, and then it's just too much going on. Stick to maybe one or two main stories in the movie and then go with that. I mean, there were like 4 or 5 different stories happening in this film. Not only did they have too many storylines going on, but there were way too many villains in this film. There are a total of 4 villains in the entire film, 2 of which you all know of, and there are 2 others as well. But I mean, seriously, we could have just stuck with just 2 villains, guys. Just 2 villains. That's all we needed. To put it bluntly, this film was just bloated. From its ridiculous runtime of 2 hours and 45 minutes that just burned me out after the 2-hour mark, to its multiple storylines and villains. And the last problem that I have with this film, and this is a problem that I had with all the Transformers films, is that there is way too much focus on the human characters than there are on the Transformers themselves. We came to see the Transformers. We don't only need to see the Transformers when they're doing an action scene. You could also focus on them during the downtimes, actually build relationships between the Transformers, build some character development, character chemistry, make them relatable instead of just focusing on the human characters that are only supposed to be there as support to the story. I mean, seriously, there are scenes in this film where they're focusing on the Yeager family doing something when the Autobots are doing something just as interesting, if not even more interesting, in another scene, and not even showing that. And it was kind of a disappointment because, again, It's a film about the Transformers. Why can't they be the center of the story instead of kind of playing a support role in their own film? But overall, even though I did have a couple problems with this film, I still got a kick out of watching Transformers Age of Extinction. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with the action scenes, and it is by far my favorite Transformers film to date. And that's why I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's an enjoyable film, and if you're a fan of the Transformers franchise, I definitely say check it out. But anyway, what did you guys think of this film? Did you really like it? Or did you find it really boring in typical Michael Bay fashion and you didn't like it at all? And let me know, who is your favorite Transformers character? It could be from the movies, the TV show, or the toy line. Comment below and let me know. And check out my new video on We Live Film. I did a love him or hate him session on Michael Bay himself, which is a very interesting video. I highly recommend checking it out. Link will be at the end of this video. And I will have my Hyuga anime review by tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And this Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the monthly live chat. So stay tuned for that as well. And until then, guys, hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Welcome to the Black Critic Guy. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Watt II, the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.